major bombshell in the Russia investigation. The Senate Intelligence Committee is not ruling out that the Trump campaign colluded with Russia to interfere in last year's election. Committee leaders making the announcement after interviewing more than 100, that's 20, witnesses and reviewing thousands of pages of documents.
We have more work to do as it relates to collusion, but we're developing a clearer picture of what happened.
That was Republican Richard Burr. Let's get details now from NBC News intelligence and national security reporter Ken Delaney. And Ken, what are the biggest takeaways?
Well, Stephanie, the biggest takeaway is what you just said. After 6 months of intensive investigation, after 100,000 documents, 100 witness interviews, the Republicans and Democrats on the Senate Intelligence Committee cannot rule out that Donald Trump's campaign colluded with a Russian intelligence operation to interfere in the election. And when you talk to investigators privately, it goes beyond that. Everyone is acknowledging there was some level of collusion here. We've seen that in public with the Trump Tower meeting. The only question really is what was the intent and who in the campaign knew about it? How high did it go? Now, the other big takeaway, Stephanie, is that this investigation has looked intensively at that intelligence assessment that was released during the Obama administration that Donald Trump has never fully accepted. He's called it a hoax. He's said that maybe other countries hacked the election. They've interviewed everybody in the intelligence community that compiled that assessment, and they endorsed it yesterday. And I'm talking about the conservative Republicans on the Senate Intelligence Committee, including Richard Burr of North Carolina, a Trump supporter. They have said wholeheartedly, we agree with this Intelligence Committee assessment that Russia hacked the election and was trying to hurt Hillary Clinton. Stephanie.
One more time, Richard Burr, a Trump guy. I also need you to talk about the dossier. That dossier that was compiled by the former British spy, that thing's back in focus?
Yeah, well, that was a remarkable moment at the news conference yesterday. There's two things that they said about the dossier. One, they said they've hit a wall in trying to fully validate and vet it because Christopher Steele, that British former intelligence operative, will not talk to the committee. So they said, look, there's only so much we can do here. We need to know who the sources were and who paid for it. But Burr said that they had been able to corroborate some aspects of it, which is remarkable because this is an incredibly important document that makes very damaging allegations about the Trump campaign. As you know, there are very salacious sexual details about Donald Trump, allegations that he's denied. Burr did not say which parts of it they corroborated. He didn't say which dates, which meetings, but just the fact that they've been able to piece together some of it and validate it was, I thought, an interesting development, Stephanie.
That's got me a little stressed out. I do not want that thing back in my life. That is the kind of information that gives a person like me nightmares. All right, Ken, thank you so much. This thing keeps on. My mind is so blown, interviewing over 100 people. Now